NFL Week 5 power rankings are, well, powered by Magic Spoon, the best blend of healthy and tasty cereal out there on the market. I already had my breakfast, but I didn't want to disrespect you guys by chewing and eating with my mouth open here on today's video. So remember, get $5 off your first order at magicspoon.com/chat. Into the rankings then. Number 32, Jacksonville, to the really surprise of nobody. The Urban Meyer era, not off to a great start. They are 0-4. Number 31, a bit of a surprise. I thought the Texans would come in at 30, not what the Chat Sports staff voted on. The Texans, 1-3, their only win coming over Jacksonville. Number 30, the Detroit Lions, one of the two last winless teams left in the NFL. They are 0-4, but they've been a lot more competitive than even the Texans outside of week 1. I mean, we watched the Bills game, right? Yikes. 0.8 QBR for Davis Mills. Good Lord. So who do you guys think wins the game first? The last two teams without a win this season. Type in L for the Lions or type in J for the Jags. Number 29, the Atlanta Falcons. They are 1-3, and they have been close a few times, but can't finish off enough games. Oh, by the way, as you see at the bottom of your screen, youtube.com/FalconsTV, we've got a bunch of different team channels out there around the NFL. So keep an eye on the bottom of your screen for your favorite team's YouTube channel, and or check out the description. They're all linked in there for you guys. Now, if you guys want us to do more power rankings videos, then do me a favor. Simply like this one. That way the bosses don't make me do more NBA stuff. I'd rather do NFL. So help be a true team player. Show your support with a simple like on today's video. Number 28, the New York Jets. They sit at 1-3. Finally got a big-time win, but I don't think they're a great NFL team as we sit right now. The Giants check in at 1-3 as well. Number 27, again, kind of like the Lions, but with a win. They've been competitive. A huge win over the Saints this past weekend. Maybe they can finally string together a little bit more success than what they've been having. Number 26 here, the Indianapolis Colts. Again, a lot of 1-3 teams here on the bottom to the surprise of nobody. Now, we are not yet done with today's NFL Power Rankings, but I want to let you guys know right now that the pinned comment on today's video is going to be us asking you to grade our power rankings. You can be mean. We won't take offense to it. Get your votes in the comment section, A, B, C, D, or F. Number 25, and one of, I think, the big early disappointments so far this year, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've talked a lot about Big Ben on this channel, on our Steelers channel as well. He doesn't look like he has it anymore. I am concerned this Steelers team is a lot more like the one we saw in the back half of last year, which was not that good, versus the hot starting team last year. Number 24, we'll stick in the state, the Philadelphia Eagles. I've actually been a little bit impressed by how competitive they've been really outside of the Cowboys game. I think this is a better team than what I thought they were going to be entering the year, but at 1-3, look, they're out to the top 20 for good reason. At number 23 now, the Miami Dolphins. And this has kind of been a different team, not in a good way, with Jacoby Brissett at the helm. Had they had two at quarterback, I think they have at least 2 wins, if not 3. It's not been a great showing so far with Brissett at the helm. A couple narrow losses mixed in there, but it's you need Tua back out there quickly if you're Miami. The Chicago Bears, Justin Fields got a win. They are 2-2, and I'm not really buying them all the way quite yet as things sit. A couple people had them in the top 20, namely Harrison. I had them at 20. People had them a bit lower, as with, again, a bit of a tier break right here after the Chicago Bears in terms of how things are being ranked in the end. Now, you guys want $5 off your first order at Magic Spoon Cereal, head over to magicspoon.com/chat. That link, by the way, folks, will be in the comments section and it'll be in the description. This cereal is incredible. It's worth every penny. High in protein, 13 or 14 grams for those of you who like the peanut butter like I do. Only 4 grams of net carbs, profoundly low, and despite having 0 sugar, man, does this stuff taste absolutely incredible. The fruity is a dead ringer for Fruit Loops. The cocoa is Cocoa Pebbles. And There's a ton of flavors out there. The maple waffle smells absolutely insanely good. There's something for you at Magic Spoon, so try them out. Get a box or maybe 4. $5 off your first order, magicspoon.com/chat. And a clickable link to make your lives even easier will be in the comments section and in the description. The New England Patriots now check in at number 21. I was actually the lowest on New England at 23, but they narrowly edge out the Chicago Bears and are just behind the Minnesota Vikings. Of the 1-3 teams, the Vikings here, which I don't think is much of a surprise, are the highest as we sit because they've been very competitive. They've lost a bunch of close games. That's been painful for Minnesota, puts them in a rough spot, but I'm not out yet on Minnesota. All right, now to some very few 2-2 teams here. Washington at number 19. That defense is not that good. They look like one of the best defenses in the NFL last year. They've been more near the bottom. This is another indication that sustaining defensive success from year to year is much more challenging than it is sustaining offensive success. 18, and I'll mention 17 here, group these two together. Two of the most confusing teams for me this season. Two very inconsistent football programs. Number 18 here, the Tennessee Titans. Number 17, meanwhile, are the New Orleans Saints. I think there's a lot of similar talking points. Inconsistent highs and lows. Are they good football teams? Or are they not? I honestly don't know right now, so I was very pleased that across the board, they actually came in almost identical, either 18-17 for all but one voter for both of these teams. I don't know what to make of them yet. Are they good? Are they bad? I guess we got to get more sample size as the year moves on. Now, maybe you could argue Washington or the Saints or Titans are one of the most underrated teams in the NFL, but I'm curious what you guys have to say. So head down to the comments section, get your votes in. The most underrated team in the NFL. San Francisco is 2-2, but they sit at number 16 in our rankings. A tough loss to Seattle last week dropped them to 500, and they're right in the middle of the pack. The high is 13 by a couple people on our rankings, but everyone else had them actually 16 or lower. How about the Cincinnati Bengals? I genuinely do not know the last time at any Chat Sports Power Rankings in which the Bengals have been among the top half teams in the NFL. But here we are. They're 3-1. The schedule does get tougher as the year moves on, but they're winning games. So, too, outside of this past week, are the Denver Broncos. They check in here at 14. This is kind of the start of your lower-end 3-1 teams that they've done a good job so far, but are they contenders or pretenders? I lean more towards the pretender side for the Bengals and the Broncos. Seattle, again, kind of in that same category as San Francisco, maybe to the same extent the Saints and Titans. A bit inconsistent this year, but I entered the year thinking Seattle and San Francisco were going to be good teams. I think they will remain playoff threats more so than the Bengals and Broncos as the year moves on. The Carolina Panthers then check in here at number 12, coming off a disappointing loss to the Dallas Cowboys. There's still some uncertainty from both myself and pretty much everyone here at the Chat Sports Power Rankings crew in terms of how good actually is Carolina. Are they going to be a legit contender, or did they benefit from an early season schedule? We'll know more as the weeks move on. You could make an argument that maybe a team like Carolina or Denver, based on our power rankings, is the most overrated team in the NFL. So I'm once again asking you to be a hater in the comments section. Get your votes in. Let me know what you're thinking. Number 11, the Cleveland Browns. I thought they were going to be a top 10 team pretty much all season long. Although they are 3-1, and they get credit for that, the way they've won has not been that impressive. I think they're still going to, if not win the AFC North, get a wild card spot out of it. But I need to see better play, even though the results have been good so far for Cleveland. Kansas City checks in at number 10. This is pretty darn low for a Chiefs team that we think is probably going to be a Super Bowl contender. The offense certainly is. They're putting up points in bunches. The defense, that's a bad defense. That's an issue right now for Kansas City. The Ravens have not always played the best football. They really should have lost to the Lions. I know Lions fans are still mad about the non-delay of game penalty, but they are 3-1. After losing to the Raiders, they've rattled off 3 straight wins. That's got to count. Speaking of the Raiders, they check in here at number 8, and they were undefeated. And then things just kind of slowed down in the end for the Las Vegas Raiders. The offense did not have its best stuff against the Chargers, and in the end, they come up short, and they drop down to number 8 in our power rankings. Still, though, if I had told a Raiders fan you're going to start the year 3-1, every single one of you would have been hyped about that. The Green Bay Packers, for the first game and a half, did not look like a good football team. They looked like I was worried about them. Since then, I think they're pretty much back. They sit at number 7 and 3-1. The winners then of Monday Night Football, the LA Chargers, they jump up to number 6. Their only loss this year, by the way, and we'll get to that team momentarily, was a close one with some questionable officiating. The Chargers are legit. I don't think that many of us thought the Chargers would be leading the AFC West after the first month of the year. I don't think anybody thought the Chiefs would be last in the AFC West. So, look, power rankings is heavily based, I believe, on what you've done so far this year, not totally what you're going to do as the year moves on. It's more of a current standing, not and less of a projection. But who do you think is going to be the best AFC West team this year? Type LAC for the Chargers, type KC for the Chiefs, DEN for the Broncos, LV for the Raiders. There is a chance that all 4 AFC West teams and NFC West teams, those are the 2 best divisions in football, could make it to the playoffs. Number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. Their only loss was a close one on the road of the year and a bit of a questionable officiating job there as well. Balances out throughout the course of the season for the most part, but the Cowboys' offense looks great. They're 3-1. The Rams then check in at number 4. A tough loss, not the most impressive one to the Arizona Cardinals. And I'll say this. I was very surprised when I got in this morning and sorted and added together all the power rankings numbers here that the Buccaneers were barely ahead of the L.A. Rams. You can blame Chase Sr., Sam Brown for that. I had the Rams above the Bucs. I actually had the Rams at number 3. So did most people, but Chase and Sam weren't in agreement. In fact, Chase is all the way in on the Buffalo Bills. 3-1, a bad week 1 showing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Since then, the Bills look a lot more like the team we thought they were going to be. But they are not number 1 because there is still only one, with only a month in the season, one undefeated team left in the NFL. That is the Arizona Cardinals. So our question before we go for you guys, how many more weeks, and 0 is an acceptable answer, but how many more weeks will the Arizona Cardinals be undefeated? Get your votes in for me in the comments section.